Hi,
Okay.
Patricia.
Hi, Siam. How are you?
I'm great, and you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today. So, can you introduce you a bit? Say who you are, what you're doing in life.
Okay. My name is Patricia. I
Hmm.
live in Florida in the United States. I am retired for the most part. I've worked all my life, but I'm retired now and enjoying life. Um, and that's basically where I'm at.
Nice. And what were you doing before?
Initially I was a critical care nurse,
Hmm.
and then after that I worked in financial services, helping retirees from the federal government with their pension
Nice.
plans. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Interesting.
Mhm.
So today, can you tell us a little bit what made you, decide to work with me and to start the program?
A relationship.
Hmm.
I was in a relationship with a man, still am, but I was in a relationship with a man, and we had a big fight, a very very big fight,
Hmm.
and I just blew up and lost control, and he left, and I realized at that point that I needed to do something drastically
Hmm.
to change the way I was behaving and showing up in relationships,
Hmm.
because this was something that had affected me in every single relationship that I've ever had.
Hmm.
But it had reached a point because I really cared for this man, and I realized that while he was at fault as well with some things, I was not able to control my anger and my emotions to the point where I really hurt him. And I was devastated by that. So I realized I needed to get a hold of myself and do something and make some major healing changes in my
Hmm.
life. And then I came across you. So
Nice. And have you tried to fix this kind of issue before? And if yes, how was it? What was the result that you had before?
yes, I have tried with some programs, and I did learn a lot. And I did rationally understand it, but I still kept feeling the feelings, and I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get past the feelings and the strong emotions. I could never fix that part of it. While I was becoming a better person, I just had this component and this control of my emotions that just it just was still not working for me in
Yeah,
a
it was.
relationship. And so,
Yeah, that was the thing. That was missing. You were saying like about
right,
having like this control on your emotion. So
right,
you have like the theory, but practical. It was difficult
right.
to put it in place.
Like
Yeah.
I
Get
couldn't,
that.
I couldn't do it. Practically speaking, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do
Okay.
it.
And so what make you decide, to work with me? What was the difference that you see in this program that make you feel that, oh, it might work and that's something that I want to try?
I was at a point in my life where I knew that I had to do something, and
Hmm.
I was embarrassed by my behavior.
Uh-huh.
I knew that I needed some deep healing, and I just knew that I had to do something differently in order
Okay.
to change the way I and into what I wanted to be.
Okay.
And you offered that to me, and I just grabbed on.
Nice. What was your thought about hypnosis? Because a lot of
Yeah,
people have like this kind of
yeah.
fear. We see a lot of things in the movie. What was your thought before?
Yeah, I used to be crazy people on TV and movie
Yeah.
looking like chickens and stuff like that. I'm like, oh no, so I didn't want to do that. But I was at a point where really it just something just needed to be done,
Mhm.
and you were so helpful with me in the beginning introductory thing, telling me about it, what it was like,
Mhm.
and basically it's just deep relaxation and remembering some things from your past. And so I thought, well, I can do that.
Mhm.
So I felt confident after talking to you in terms of trusting you to work
Okay.
me through this process so that I could get better. I could feel better about myself.
Nice. And could you describe your experience about hypnosis for someone who, just look the interview and, wonder how it happened, and especially also through video, because also there's this belief that, we need to be in
Right,
person to do the session, and it's not the
right.
case actually. Could you maybe describe like how you felt during the session, what was happening?
Sure. In fact, that was my initial question to you. I mean, how does it work? You're over
Mhm.
there in Paris. Thank you.
Yeah.
How nice. And I'm here in Florida. So how does that work? And you assured me that it does work, by video. And so I was willing to trust you on that. And in fact, it did. The very first session, I think was the uh, most difficult session for me. I
Yeah.
had a
Yeah.
lot of stuff I had to get through, and that was the challenging session for me.
Mhm.
But I needed to get through that process, and it did work. And I was able to just relax
Mhm.
and just relax. And you were very soothing and very kind and very patient with me so that I could work through that process with you. And so it just worked out great. And it doesn't make any difference where you are,
Yeah.
it's still able to work.
Yeah. Nice. And how did you feel, like, I would say after the session, because I remember already the first session was very intense, like you say, for
Yes.
you, and it worked great. But how did you feel? Maybe can you describe like how it was for you?
Sure. After the first session, surprisingly, after the first session, I felt so much better. I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off
Mhm.
my shoulders and I was more calm. And that was just after the first session. And I thought, wow, that's really amazing. And all the things that I had told you were some of my issues before, like insecurity and jealousy and
Mhm.
lack of confidence and all of those things that I really wanted to work on, we worked on those things every session by going back into my past to see what trauma had occurred to cause me to feel this way and to work through those emotions and get rid of them so
Nice.
that now I feel more grounded than I've ever been.
Mhm.
I'm calmer than I've ever been. And surprisingly, my boyfriend, we did get back together. My boyfriend last week, this past week, said something to me, and I was a little bit annoyed. But it's interesting. I didn't get triggered. I just kind of stayed open and asked some questions about it. Didn't make any judgments,
Mhm.
and was open about it. And we hung up the phone. And then about half hour later, he called back,
Mhm.
and he said, "I just want to thank you for just listening to me and hearing what I have to say. And I'm going to try and do better. I know I can, and I want to be close to you." And all this kind of stuff. So it really, really, really helped in terms of that relationship, but also with other relationships with other people in my
Mhm.
life. It's really, it's just been a life changing event for me and very
Nice.
significant in my life.
Nice. Yeah, because we can say that actually that's true that we work mostly on, we would say, romantic relationship, but actually all kind of relationship work the same.
Right,
The moment that you can work on yourself, on your emotion and heal
right.
all this emotion from the past, that's true that it helps you actually for all kind of relationships. So that's also what is great in this work,
Yes,
I feel. Mhm.
right. It
Nice.
does, and I just feel better than I've ever felt. I feel more confident, again, more grounded, more calm. And if something comes up, I'm able to actually. It feels like I can step aside and I just observe it
Mhm.
and handle things. I know I've got a handle on my emotions, and like you
Mhm.
said, you're going to feel angry sometimes. It's okay to feel angry, but it's
Of
how
course.
you control your
Yeah.
anger, and that really works for me.
Nice. And what was for you the most surprising? What did you like the most in the program for you?
All of it. I liked all of it. I think every session was significant to me. In
Mhm.
every session, I learned something and I felt better. And I felt like we were, just really pretty quickly getting rid of all that old garbage that had been existing in
Mhm.
my subconscious that had just caused me so many problems throughout my life.
Mhm.
Um, and to feel that it's just finally either gone or at such a level that it doesn't create an issue anymore. It's just
Nice.
it's just life changing.
Mhm. Nice. And so, what would you say is the biggest change that you've seen in your relationship?
The biggest change is in my relationship with my boyfriend because that's the most intense
Mhm.
relationship that I have, and it's just a much better place. It's peaceful. I didn't initially tell him about my sessions with you all. He knew I needed to do something, but
Mhm.
he did too. He did. He'd have some healing to do too. And you know, when we got back together, some of the things that would have triggered me before never did, and I acted differently because I
Mhm.
felt differently. And he looked a little surprised, didn't say much, but looked surprised and surprised and surprised. And over the 2 months that we've been doing this, he said to me the other day, I don't know what you're doing, but I really like, who you are now.
Mhm.
Like, okay,
Nice.
that's good. So it's just really, it's a much better place. And I know that even if something happened to he and I, um, that's his loss. And there are many, many people out there that I'm worthy of, and I'm
Mhm.
worthy of love. And if not with him, with someone else. So I hope with
Yeah.
him, but I'm worthy of that. And I really feel that in my heart.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, and that this feeling of security bring you
Yes.
actually to be more secure into your relationship. That's what you
Yes.
mean. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the things that trigger me before, where I was insecure,
Mhm.
um, I just don't feel those anymore. I don't feel that anymore.
Nice.
I don't
And the
feel those
fact,
bad emotions.
mhm. And the fact that you're reacting a different way, you can see also that it caused the partner also to
Yes.
change. Yeah.
Yes, I was asking you about that because I'm reacting a different way, and so he's reacting a different
Yeah.
way, and it's all for the better. It all feels so much better, and it feels like such a much better relationship now.
Awesome.
So that was a very good thing. And then my relationships, I have a lot of women friends and stuff, and sometimes, I felt a little bit insecure sometimes around them. They're very accomplished in this, and I am too. But just sometimes I felt a little something. I don't feel that now. I just feel a genuine love and connectedness with them, and
Mhm.
we have fun, and it's just great. It's just everything just feels so much better in my life
Mhm.
now after all these sessions. It just
Mhm.
feels better.
Yeah, feeling more confident with yourself, more
Yes.
self-esteem.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Great.
Hmm.
So what would you say to people, who are thinking about working on themselves, working on the relationship or whatever they feel that they need to heal, now that you've done the work, that you can see really like the difference? What would you say to them? What kind of advice you could say to them?
I would say try it. Definitely try it because
Mhm,
it will work like nothing else has worked. I have worked
mhm,
on myself for years now, and I am a better version of myself. But again, I couldn't control those emotions because
mhm,
I had all this stuff stuck in my subconscious
mhm.
that needed to get out, that needed
Yeah.
to be gone, and I couldn't do that component of it. And
Mm,
so once we worked together and we got rid of all of that, life is just so much better. So I would say if you're having questions about it, just try it. I think you'll be so thrilled that you did
mhm.
do it, and it really makes a change in your life. You just are going to feel so much better. Probably after the first session, like I did. After the
Yeah.
first session, I felt so much better.
Yeah, for you it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just like in 1 month and a half, a little bit more, less than 2 months for sure. And
I was very motivated. I
yeah,
really wanted to see a change, and so I was willing to do that, and then listen to the recordings that you sent me
yeah,
and work on that. And it just kind of flowed.
yeah, it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you for this interview, and thank you for sharing your amazing result, because also you did a great job. I'm
Thank you.
always happy to share the results of clients. So
Thank
thank
you so
you,
much.
Patricia.
I so appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Patricia. Bye.